right now on 5 on your side at 10.
The heat is on, and that has us in a weather impact alert. 100 for the high today, and we'll add more humidity tomorrow. How long this dangerous heat lasts?
A school spending frenzy with higher-ups receiving six figures.
But when I look at some of these positions, it is sort of unusual.
Tonight, we're pouring through St. Louis public school records following the money. Scary moment after a car crashes into a restaurant, killing a regular lunchtime customer.
Worried about everyone's safety.
Tonight, the owners call for help from the community.
And we start with a weather impact alert. A hot night at the ballpark as extreme heat hits our area. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. While it was hot today, it could get even hotter tomorrow. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell, who is tracking these dangerous temperatures. Scott.
You know, we had lots of sunshine today around St. Louis. The sun setting over Forest Park this evening over at the Muni. Still hot and steamy there tonight. The actual high, 100 degrees. Our record for the day, 103. Tomorrow's record high, 102. And we're going to flirt with that tomorrow. Now through about Wednesday, especially during the afternoon hours, the heat index values will be in the triple digits. We could see as high as 110 tomorrow in some spots. So you'll need to make sure you're staying hydrated, taking breaks, and using that air conditioner. Trying to spend some time in the AC as well. One of the problems, it's not cooling off at night. 88 in Forest Park, 89 in Creve Coeur, still 87 in Lake St. Louis. Even in Millstadt and over in Mascoutah and Edwardsville, temperatures are slow to drop this evening. Lambert still at 90 degrees right now. And you couple that with the humidity. Our dew points are around 70 now, but to our north, dew points are in the mid to upper 70s. That's the air that you can wear. That's what's coming our way tomorrow. And we'll look at the heat index values around the metro area tomorrow afternoon in that 105 to maybe 110 degree range. So 105 for the heat index around noon, 109 at 3 o'clock in St. Louis, and 106 tomorrow evening. It looks like this heat will linger into Wednesday. We'll talk about when it breaks and the rain chances it may bring before this week is over. That's in 12 minutes, Kelly.
All right, Scott. Tonight, a Florissant man is dead after a car crashed into the restaurant where he was eating lunch.
The Rice House on Lindbergh is closed until further notice due to severe damage to the restaurant. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live in Florissant tonight after talking with business owners. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, there's actually a memorial that's formed right here outside of the restaurant, and the window here of the Rice House has been boarded up as well. The man was actually sitting right next to the window when the SUV came crashing in. The owner says they're devastated.
We heard this explosion, and we thought, you know, working next door to a restaurant, like, oh, something done happened. Let's get outside before it happened in here.
And when they walked outside, they saw this, an entire BMW SUV inside the Rice House restaurant. Mark Wallace owns the Blended Styles barbershop next door.
And then to walk over and see two women trying to get out, and then to see a man underneath pinned, barely breathing. The workers inside the Rice House were trying to talk to him, but they were still in shock, still trying to get their burns together.
Wallace says the ambulance took 10 to 15 minutes to get there. The 52-year-old man was rushed to the hospital where he later died. The driver and the passenger were not injured.
The ladies in the car, all she kept saying, the driver, was, I had the car in park, I had it in park, it took off on its own, it took off on its own.
Owner of the Rice House, Kenny Trong, says they've had this location for more than a decade and was stunned to see an SUV in his restaurant.
We're just like very shocked that this had happened, and was worried about everyone's safety, customers and or staff.
They had 11 staff members in the restaurant at the time, and 20 total employees will be without a job for a while.
We're going to be a little setback financially, and a little bit of a whole lot of effort to get this thing back going.
He was devastated as we broke the news to him about the loss of one of his regulars.
I'm hurt. I'm lost for words. Wow. Prayers to their family. I mean, my goodness.
Their other restaurant is about 2.5 miles down the road near the intersection of Lindbergh and Newhalls Ferry. The owner asks for the community's support at their other restaurant while they continue to rebuild here in Florissant. Reporting live in Florissant, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Right now, police are searching for two men who robbed a man near the Muni in Forest Park. Investigators released these surveillance pictures of the suspects. The victim told police he was sitting on a bench around noon yesterday when two men came up behind him. One of the men pulled a gun, took his phone, wallet, and keys, also tried to steal his car. Both suspects ran away. The victim chased after them. The victim was not physically harmed. Former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson was back in court today. Grayson is charged with murder, accused of shooting and killing Sonia Massey inside her Springfield home last month. A judge ordered Grayson to continue to be held without bond. His attorneys are appealing the ruling. Both sides in the case are now requesting cameras to be allowed in the courtroom. Massey's family says they'll be in court every day of the trial.
Just hours ago, we learned organizers canceled the Q in the Lou Barbecue Festival. Organizers tell 5 on Your Side they had a lack of corporate sponsorships, partially due to downtown safety concerns. The festival, which brings pit masters from across the country, was supposed to take place on the Gateway Arch grounds on September 7th and 8th. The mayor's office released a statement tonight saying hosting downtown events and bringing people together is the one thing we do best as a city.
Tonight, 5 on Your Side is taking a closer look at the top dollar salaries offered to district-level employees at St. Louis Public Schools. The superintendent, who is now on leave, brought in those staffers who she knew from her time in Washington State.
As Brent Solomon explained, school leaders are preparing for a work session tomorrow to discuss even more spending, Brent?
That's absolutely right. We've just learned leaders are considering bringing in a retired superintendent from Riverview Gardens to help out. Under that proposal, going before the school board tomorrow, Dr. Joy Lynn Pruitt-Adams will be paid $185 an hour as a consultant, working up to 5 hours a week. Perhaps adding to the one question so many have been asking of late, is the district spending too much money? Superintendent Keisha Scarlett has been on leave for a month now, a year after beginning her new role with SLPS. Her salary, $268,000 a year. She brought on top-level staffers she knew from Washington State. Deputy Superintendent Millicent Borshade with a salary of $230,000. She's now serving as the interim superintendent. Chief of Schools Allison Dino making $200,000, and her husband Timothy Schultz, employed as a contract management officer, making $140,000 a year.
It's not uncommon when you hire a new superintendent for them to bring on leaders as part of a team that they've had a lot of experience with in the past.
We kept digging into other new contracts. A temporary chief financial officer with a rate of pay of $93 an hour. A senior project manager being paid $120,000 a year. And a chief of staff of operational excellence with a salary close to $186,000.
It is sort of unusual in that some of these job titles and responsibilities is typically not a position that would tag along with a superintendent.
As a state audit is underway into the district's spending, education professor John Scott Turner points out the power of decision making does not lie with just one person.
The elected school board, it puts a lot of pressure on them to keep a tight tab on how money is being spent and what positions are being added. That gives those locally elected school boards a lot of power, and because of that, when challenges come up, it also means that those local school boards have to be held accountable for decisions that they've made during those times.
Now, the focus on finances comes as the district's budget went from a $17 million surplus to a projected deficit of $35 million. This as the district continues to battle how to get students to class 2 weeks into the start of the school year.
A new legal battle tonight between Missouri and Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood Great Rivers and Great Plains are suing Missouri for stopping state funding. The removal from the Missouri Medicaid program takes effect on Wednesday. Both affiliates say they will continue to accept patients across the state.
A controversial $75 million road project in Jefferson County has hit a dead end. The city announced it was scrapping plans to build a 2-mile Arnold Parkway road just hours before a scheduled homeowners meeting to discuss buyouts. 5 on Your Side's Annie Kroll has reaction.
Walking around Christie Drive on a hot Monday night paralleled the last few weeks of heated conversations about the Arnold Parkway project and the construction of a 2-mile road to connect Highway 141 and Richardson Road. It called for a significant land buyout of a nearby shopping plaza and homes.
We were ready to go.
Some neighbors prepared to take the $177,000 offer to households with a premium up to $225,000.
Most of us are not saying no. We're just asking us to meet us in the middle. We already had the appraisal lined up. We were getting ready to do all of that.
Others refusing to move, period. Now a change of plans. The city of Arnold releasing a statement saying it's no longer pursuing the project.
The city telling us on Monday afternoon that they will finish buying any of those properties still under contract if the sellers are still interested.
Greg Noble has lived on Harry's Lane with his wife for 17 years, raising 3 children. They were ready to leave in the next few years, now dealing with the city's new decision.
It kind of sucks. We were ready to move, so we weren't going to fight. We were just ready to kind of get out, and now that they've backed off, it's not fun. We don't know what we're going to do.
And now you're abandoning everything.
Arnold native Emily Davis is a single mom who bought here in September of 2023. This pivot is more than just a big wrench.
It's going to lower our values now. It's going to lower our values. When they first bought that house next door to me in April, they hadn't cut the grass in almost a month and a half. We didn't know Arnold owned it at the time. So we reported it. Well, now we come to find out months later, we reported Arnold on their own house.
But Davis doesn't think it's over.
Now we're waiting on the next knock. I mean, that's the reality of this. This is just a speed bump. They're not done.
In Arnold, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
The city of Arnold told us there will be no further efforts to acquire any additional property. The group Citizens Against the Construction of Arnold Parkway released a statement saying their work isn't over yet.
Tonight, a St. Louis embroidery company is making hundreds of shirts to raise money for Officer Travis Brown. Brown is still in a coma after suffering a severe brain injury earlier this month while trying to arrest a protester outside the Ferguson Police Department. Mattingly's Embroidery is now selling dedicated T-shirts with the phrase TJ Strong on them. All the profits will go to Brown's 2 children. We do have a link to purchase a TJ Strong T-shirt in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. The GoFundMe for Officer Brown has raised more than $150,000.
From city mayor to hometown hero.
Scariest feeling I ever felt in my life.
A Metro East leader's quick actions that saved a young girl's life. It's a helpful tool, but can artificial intelligence keep you safe?
The AI's answer was dangerous and inconsistent.
Tonight, we put AI's safety IQ to the test.
The weather impact alert for heat and humidity continues into Wednesday. We are tracking some big changes, though, coming our way in time for the Labor Day weekend.
Tonight, a Metro East mayor is being praised as a hero for saving a 7-year-old girl's life. Cahokia Heights Mayor Curtis McCall saved a 7-year-old girl. Her name is Kennedy Dukes, and her family, they were out shopping last weekend when she had an asthma attack. They didn't have her inhaler. She passed out, so they stopped at City Hall. Mayor McCall stepped in and performed CPR on Kennedy for 17 minutes before she woke up.
I'm, not a hero at all. I'm a public servant, been a public servant all my life. God had me here for that purpose, and I'm so happy that that child is doing well today.
McCall says he's working to set up free CPR training for all Cahokia Heights residents in the coming weeks. Artificial intelligence chatbots like ChatGPT are rapidly moving from novelties to everyday tools.
But can we trust those chatbots to not spit out misleading or dangerous information? Tonight, the technology and privacy researchers at Consumer Reports are sharing what they found.
AI's potential is impressive, but what about its accuracy? Consumer Reports put 5 of them to the test.
To find out, we quizzed a handful of popular general-purpose AI chatbots to see if their advice on health and safety topics matched that of our experts.
How many carbon monoxide detectors do you need? CR says 1 on each level, outside each sleeping area, in the basement, and near, not inside, an attached garage.
For the most part, Google Gemini got this answer nearly right, but it erred slightly when it suggested putting a carbon monoxide alarm inside an attached garage. Attached garages are usually not temperature controlled, which can damage the alarm's battery or sensor.
How to filter PFAS from tap water. CR recommends a water filtration system with the National Sanitation Foundation certification code NSF/ANSI 53. and double-checking that the manufacturer specifically claims that its product removes PFAS.
AI's answer lacked key details. Using Microsoft Copilot's advice, consumers may feel confident buying any activated carbon or reverse osmosis filter to eliminate PFAS in their water. However, not all filters of these kinds are designated for PFAS removal.
Can kids play with water beads? CR says absolutely not. These popular children's toys carry high risks if ingested, like bowel obstruction, blocked airways, and infections, and have led to reports of deaths and thousands of emergency room visits.
The AI's answer was dangerous and inconsistent. Meta AI failed to highlight the significant safety risks of water beads aside from a passing reference to a need for parental supervision.
Using AI as a starting point, chatbots can be powerful time savers, but always check the source material.
Consumer Reports says one way to think of AI is as an assistant. It's not an expert, so don't be afraid to ask questions more than once to compare answers.
With Labor Day quickly approaching, you may want to move up your travel plans. AAA says bookings for domestic travel is up almost 10% from last year. The Auto Club also says the window to miss traffic is expanding. The worst time to leave is Thursday between 1 and 7:30 p.m. and between 2 and 6 p.m. on Friday.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us now with that weather impact forecast, and a record might be on the table tomorrow, right, Scott?
You know, we're going to be close. 102 back in 1881.
A long time ago.
A long time ago, that record stands in the books. We're going to be around 100 tomorrow here at Lambert. Today, St. Louis Lambert International up to 100 degrees. So the weather impact alert, yes, we have it tomorrow, probably into Wednesday. Wednesday's kind of the question mark because we may have some slightly cooler air with some clouds, which would keep us from maybe getting to 105, but it's still going to be awfully steamy. The heat index tomorrow, 104 to 110 degrees, so the high heat and humidity. We got to stay hydrated, drinking lots of water, limiting our physical activity, using that air conditioning, staying out of the sun, and don't forget about the kids and the pets. We don't want to leave kids in the car when it's this hot. Even for, you know, you're running an errand, something could happen. You just don't want to get them stuck in the car. So if you're thinking you might forget, just throw your left shoe in the back seat with your child. You won't get out of the car without your left shoe, all right? So temperatures tonight, dropping into the 70s and 80s, right around 80. It still, though, feels like it's around 90, even in Chesterfield, Pittsfield right now, because the humidity's so high. You're out in the farm fields there. 93 is what it feels like with the heat index in Pittsfield. It's 90, feels like 95 officially from Lambert. The dew point's up to 69 degrees. That probably nudges up into the lower 70s tomorrow, which means overnight tonight, we don't see those temperatures dropping a whole lot. Most of us are in the mid to upper 70s. The heat index is a problem tomorrow afternoon. 105 to maybe as high as 110 degrees, starting around lunchtime through about 7, 8 o'clock. The storm path, at least for active weather, is still to our north and west. We've had strong storms across South Dakota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, around the Twin Cities, really getting some big weather this evening. But here's this big upper level high parked right over St. Louis. As long as it's on top of us, it keeps us hot, it keeps us humid, and that means the heat advisory is expanded south into the metro area tomorrow. Now, as far as rain chances go, well, we're thinking most of tomorrow's on the dry side. There is a small chance we'd pop an isolated shower or thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon, but it's really overnight tomorrow night into Wednesday. That's where the big question mark is. That's when our potential is there, a little more so for some showers and thunderstorms, which at the very least holds our temperatures back a little bit on Wednesday. But it's still very humid Wednesday. In fact, it may be more humid Wednesday than it is Tuesday, depending on how those thunderstorms evolve. And we all know how the thunderstorm complexes to the north and west of us tend to impact our weather. So we'll see how that plays out. We know for sure tomorrow is incredibly steamy. What won't be is your Labor Day forecast.
Good.
By Sunday into Monday, the humidity backs off. And Monday, Labor Day, only in the low to mid 80s for highs.
Wow, that sounds great. All right, Scott, thanks.
Corey's Dexpa Sports.
Former Cardinals manager Mike Schilt's Padres had a good start to their week in St. Louis. We'll talk about another disappointing night at Busch and hear from the San Diego skipper coming up in sports.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
We are in St. Louis, Busch Stadium. This is not the Busch Stadium I am used to.
No.
Late August, early September. Usually it's packed. The Redbirds are in the race. It is a different vibe here.
Yep, it's shocking.
It is shocking.
Not used to this
Yeah.
ever.
Well, if that's what the opposing broadcast is saying about the current vibes at your ballpark, things probably aren't going so well. At 5 games out of a wild card spot on August 26th, this Cardinal season could be on the brink of collapse. And something tells me Mike Shildt and the Padres would love to be the ones to push it over the edge. There's a look at the sparse crowd tonight at Busch, and sparse is being generous. We've seen this an awful lot of the years, though. Manny Machado is going to take Kyle Gibson deep in the first inning. 2-0 Padres right off the bat. Cards would get on the board in the second inning. Brendan Donovan, he's going to triple, and Paul Goldschmidt drove him in. 2-1 San Diego. Bases loaded in the third inning. Gibson almost worked his way out of it, but rookie Jackson Merrill had other plans. A 2 RBI single that made it 4-1. Merrill would pad his Rookie of the Year worthy stats later with another RBI hit. Cardinals scratched back a bit late, but it fell short. Padres win the series opener 7-4. All 7 runs charged to Kyle Gibson.
They bunched their hits together with those walks. They took advantage of those opportunities and scored 7 off them.
Obviously, it wasn't my sharpest stuff. I felt like it came in and out. I had a couple innings where I was able to put a 0 up, but just the consistency wasn't there tonight.
Of course, the big story at the ballpark today was the return of Mike Shildt. The former Cardinals manager was a lifer with the organization before the two parted ways after 2021, citing philosophical differences. Shildt reflected on his time with the Cardinals today and talked about learning from his predecessors like Tony La Russa and Whitey Herzog.
I never thought I'd manage. I didn't have any idea I'd manage with my path. You're talking about some of the best managers and Hall of Famers in the history of this game, and they all were very gracious with their time with me, among a lot of other people that are still here. And so I just have a lot of reverence for those people and my time here.
We are now Luther Burden days away from Missouri football. That's 3 days away, just to clarify. With the current state of the Cardinals and City SC, we really need a team to feel good about this fall. Last season, it was a bit of a slow start for the Tigers. You may remember Brady Cook even getting booed at home after some of those early games. But once they opened up the full playbook and let Brady cook, no problem. Eli Drinkwood said there should be no guarding the playbook to open the season this year.
No, we're trying to win week 1. The most important game that we have on our schedule is this one, period. So there's no guarding, there's no hiding. We just want to win.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC may have registered yet another tie over the weekend, but the new offensive additions picked up right where they left off in the League's Cup, including former SLU Billiken Simon Betcher. Betcher scored his first MLS goal for City on a header to kick off Saturday night's contest. It's his 3rd goal in 5 games for St. Louis. But as a team, Betcher knows they have to find a way to close out opponents.
I think we're yet to put together a complete game. And, I think that's a maturity thing. It's a thing that, the team has to, if we want to be where we want to be, it's something we need to work on. It's something we need to do.
Okay, hang with me here. This is a weird one. On June 26th, Toronto's Danny Jansen falls off a pitch in Boston, and it would be the last pitch of the day, to be resumed later. A month later, he was traded to Boston, and today was in the Red Sox lineup as that game played out. Not only was Jansen the first player in Major League history to play for both teams in the same game, he was also the first to bat for both teams in the same inning, technically. Blue Jays win 4-1. You never know what you're going to see.
That'll go on the back of the baseball card.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Corey.
Well, it is glow time, Apple's new slogan that is keeping customers in the dark about the new iPhone.
And we hope you'll join us for this year's Show of Strength NBA Telethon. It's on Sunday. We'll be live at Grant's Farm from 8 to 10 p.m. You can watch it right here on 5 on Your Side, also on KSDK.com, or stream it on 5+. All money raised goes to help people fighting neuromuscular diseases right here in the St. Louis area.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report was sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers.
Welcome to Telly Tire and Auto. How can I help you?
Hello, young man. Do you happen to carry tires for a 2024 Corvette Stingray Z51 with 495 horsepower?
With access to over 300,000 tires locally, we definitely have tires for that car and can often provide same-day tire service.
Splendid. Thank you. Hello? Marge, I want a rematch.
Telly Tire, your hometown tire experts with the best prices, largest selection, and same-day service.
There's an electrified vehicle for everyone to fall in love with. Get offers on select models at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Get special offers on select Lexus ES models.
My name is Les. Signature Kitchen and Bath recently did a laundry room. Having a nice functional space to do laundry makes you feel better about going in and doing the laundry. If I had one word to describe my laundry room, it would be perfection.
Do you sure want to do this?
Hey.
A new upgrade may be on the way for Apple users. The tech giant announced it's hosting a special event on September 19th where the iPhone 16 is expected to launch. However, the event's tagline, "It's Glow Time," is causing confusion among consumers. All that's known about the new phone is that AI is expected to be a key feature.
All right, it's hot today, maybe even hotter tomorrow.
You know, we're still 90 degrees in town tonight. Still feels like 95. Tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures right around 100 again. We likely will have the dew point temperatures a little higher, so that means more humidity. And that means the heat index tomorrow could be 105 to 110 degrees. So we have our weather impact alert. We're going to extend it into Wednesday. The heat advisory for the metro area is noon until 8 p.m. tomorrow. Depending on how these storms evolve overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, north and west of us, will determine if we get some slightly cooler air in here on Wednesday.
But that would be slightly cooler.
Slightly. In the mid-90s versus around 100. But it still will be humid on Wednesday, so we know that much for sure.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.